So I can talk about our experiences of returning back to the selling part of the game. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So we're going to talk about selling in the current environment of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And some of my experiences in the space as of late. So, like I said, smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oscar. Earlier last week, I made a video talking about the state of the Blue Eyes White Dragon market and kind of how the collector's market has been kind of taking back off, but that's not within the sector of what I've been doing. I mean, like, we do a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sales and, like, singles and things like that, but, like, I only get to see certain things. Quarter centuries that I had at extremely high prices are now disappearing. I had an Obelisk of Tormentor. I had I think it was an Allure of Darkness. I had some other ones that I priced higher than other things. And a little bit of a secret. If you do a lot of selling on TCG Player, there's several methods in which, you can list cards. You can obviously always list at the bottom to try to get the fastest sale, or you can list certain things higher than certain points. I like to do that with certain things because it kind of creates like a breaker effect. If a card disappears out of my inventory that I know I priced very high, either months, years, or prior, and it finally goes, it gives me an indicator to go, oh, well, these cards are going up in price. We're starting to see movements heading for these. Obviously, there's things like Secret First at Honest that probably won't see a trigger breaker for a while, things like that. But you've also got to remember, when you're dealing in this space, you just get to see a lot of really slow moving things turning over, and even like to the point that, like, I want to call them abnormalities that happen. I actually, since I've been back on doing this a lot more recently, comments from YGLD, which is the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, it's not a gold series. It was the 3 legendary decks of Yugi itself, where you had, I think it was the Battle City arc, Duelist Kingdom, and then you had like another deck. It was the 3 decks Yugi. This product is very old. For some reason, every couple of weeks, I'll just have one single Karibo get bought from my listings, and it's always, somebody's gonna be like, nobody actually buys these cards, Robbie. It's like, no, man, people actually do buy these oddities. Other things to kind of take note of: Santa Claus has been a very, very, very fast-moving card for me. I don't know if it's just because people see the value and instant kaiju that you can kind of be provided with some spot removal options, or some of that particular options, but there's definitely, there's something to be seen to that. Quick moving meta staples. So right now the game is not really in a position that we're going to, with the 10s being eliminated, a lot of older card value like Crowns, for example, which I don't even think Crown was going to be up for the reprint anyway, but eliminating the 10s was a good and bad thing. One, it allowed all of the older core sets that were in the block, those now have value. The amount of stores, and I will contest to this too, the amount of people that were just complaining about, product being dead, shelf warmers, product not being worth anything. Those $30 boxes, it's very strange because they've all started to disappear. They're all poofing into different directions, and it's not that it's alarming, but it's current market conditions readjusting to things. And I hate to say it, so there is going to be a little bit of overlap from like the previous discussion into this one, because like current market trends and shifts around are very, very, very important to the game. You need and have to have things shifting. You have to have the market staying fresh. And obviously, it's good. What other weird things have kind of moved recently? There's always... Toon cards are very hyped right now. Dark Eradicator Warlock is another one of them. Whatever little Toon stuff I've had left throughout the years has pretty much disappeared this week. There was no hope that I was going to get to keep any of those Toon cards because they just got literally eradicated. I'm surprised by how fast this community was able to analyze, look at the Toon trends, and go, all right, we have a game plan now. We know where, things are going to go in terms of the market. And they've done it. The market has somehow even outsmarted and amazed me in that regard. So, good job to that. In terms of sealed product, we've already seen how Monster Mayhem's cousin, the Broken set, is already looking up to. Pre-sales on TCG Player, we've already talked about, are some of the most disgusting that you're going to see in a modern era set. Whether you're happy, sad, angry, no matter what your emotions are with that product, it's nobody's going to be happy with that. That is a pretty... See, like, right now, and I can tell with, like, just the intermediate part of the market, we're in a transitionatory period right now. But that's not stopping people from picking up things like Vanity's Ruler's been another important one that they've been doing. But also, in this workspace, you're going to have a lot of people that are just going to be wanting to pick up 70-cent cards, but also you're going to have you'd also be very surprised still by the amount of people that are willing to go through your inventory, add really dumb cards to a cart just to pass it over the small amount, just so that they don't have to pay the extra, what is it, 49 cents now, 40 cents for shipping. They're willing to spend on the 99 cents, but they're willing to buy more cards to push that number up. And that's very interesting, because the little throw-in little cards that I'll see people grab just to complete a purchase are hilarious. And no, the Karibo wasn't one of those little throw-ins that somebody said, yeah, let's go ahead and grab this. No, there was actually... Karibo was the only one on one of the orders fairly recently. So, I don't know, man. I'm not here to question how people spend their money. I'm always intrigued with how they spend their money, if that makes sense. You never know what cards and what purposes that you're going to need to pick up things to add to your collection, because, you're only you. You only have an idea of, oh, hey, I need to pick this up. I need to have this for, bad idea 9,322. But at the same time, there are people out there that, want to build the collector's decks. They want to build these off-the-wall products. They want to build, something fun for tabletop. You got people that are going out to Walmart. They want to make YouTube content with the, out-of-the-box decks at Walmart. It is truly interesting just to see, the different things and the different parts of this community that people are trying to go out and build. And honestly, I kind of am digging it right now. I really appreciate the different diversity and things that are kind of starting to pop up. So, if you've taken anything away from this video, market conditions right now they're great. Actually, I think they're some of the best I've seen, because Yu-Gi-Oh cards are constantly moving. Now, that was never not going to be a thing. Yu-Gi-Oh cards will always tend to have value and will tend to move. But we're just in an era right now where, collectors are trying to get these collectibles that they want before things spike up in price. And obviously, they're going to try to get things at the cheapest price point. I don't really blame them for that. It's a competitor's market, so we'll see where things go. But please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here. Later in the day, guys. Patrons! Thank you! Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.